welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man that is going to record this episode from inside of a flying prison. It's Adam Hodgins.
So I just assumed that the black box would do the recording for me, and I brought no equipment. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, you sound great.
All right. As long as this black box is working, we'll be okay.
Yeah, and just pay attention to people lighting other people on fire, all right? Watch out for the people in the cells.
Yeah, the cells within the cell. I like those guys. They're a risk versus reward having them part of your posse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind of, you're right. It's like putting $5,000 on a team you know is going to lose. That if they do win, you're going to make a lot of money, but you're not going to win most of the time.
No, you're not. But it's okay because you can tell that story.
So I'm going to ask you a question. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here, and we're going to jump into this movie. But before we do, I want to ask you a really serious question. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready for it.
Okay. You're at a nice cafe. You're enjoying a gelato. It's quite good. It's pistachio. Perfect weather. It's not leaking. The spoon is a little small. You're a little miffed about the spoon, but that means more bites. So you kind of you're like, I didn't like it, but I would have been done with it if I had a big ice cream scoop. Not
to cut you off, but I'm a small spoon guy. If I'm eating ice cream or cereal, I like to get the smallest spoon I can.
I don't see a point to the big spoon.
No, it's done. It's over. You need to enjoy your food, not just get it in. It's not a mission. You want to enjoy your food. Well, you can.
Did I pick the correct gelato? Are you down for a pistachio gelato?
I'm not anti-pistachio at all.
Good. So I'm getting you pretty good here. I've gotten your essence. You're wearing a wonderful plaid shirt. Your sleeves are rolled up past your elbows, though.
That's my style.
Your shirt isn't buttoned all the way up. You tip nicely. Every time someone gives you eye contact, you say hi, but not overbearingly. It's a perfect day. And everyone's like, hey, this guy's friendly. He's radiating something. When you get surrounded, right, by 7 beefy individuals. Now, these aren't beefy individuals from Aquaman who turn out to be nice. They kind of threaten him, but then they want pictures with him, and then they all drink beer together and have a great night. These are beefy individuals who they mean harm. And when you look at them, you just go, these are different levels from me, right? You put down your gelato and you're like, something's up. I don't know what's going on. The leader of the beefy individuals walks up. I mean, he doesn't look like, she doesn't look like the biggest of all of them, but you're like, this is the meanest, right? This person is the meanest of all of them, clearly. Everyone defers to this person. This person walks up to you and says, Adam. You're like, how do you know my name? Like
they know it,
and they never answer it, right? And so you're shook, right? Your spoon is tapping around the glass of this gelato bowl.
I'm not nervous, but I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you try to play it cool, but since your spoon keeps hitting the glass of the gelato thing, I don't know why they gave you glass. It's a really nice cafe, right? Beautiful cafe. And you're actually doing work in downtown Montreal for some reason. I don't know why, but you're down there just eating some delicious gelato.
You're painting an incredible picture here. I love this.
Yeah, you have there's like a nice monastery across from you because, Montreal has those, like really great, two streets, cars going back and forth. Not too much, good foot traffic. You can smell the baguettes wafting from the bread store next to you.
They call those bakeries here in Canada.
Yeah. And so.
Bread store.
Yeah. Well, you never know, right? I mean, listen. There are places called the Container Store. So why would there not be a place called the Bread Store?
There is.
I mean,
okay.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, we're going to come back to store names in a minute, but keep going.
And so everyone's getting a whiff. The leader stops for a little bit, smells the baguette, and kind of clocks it that after this is all done, I'm going to go get some of that. Like, I'll pay. I don't want to take local businesses out of business. Like, I'm bad news, but I'm not going to rip somebody off. I'll rip their arms off, but I won't rip them off, right?
Right.
So they walk up to you. The person does the Eddie Griffin crazy eye from the New Guy. Just goes, like, you get it. And they say to you, you get to pick one movie. You get to pick one. And they go, Con Air, Face Off, The Rock. Oof. And then they look at you and they go, you have 5 seconds. And you're like, well, 5 seconds from now when you started? And then they just, knowing you were going to ask that, they pick up a cell phone and press a button, and it starts going. So 5, 4, 3.
And so you pick Con Air without even thinking
2.
about it.
You would?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you've nailed my Nicolas Cage holy trinity of Face Off, Con Air, and The Rock.
The prison trilogy.
And so I saw that run of movies when I moved from my hometown of Nipigon, Ontario, to Trenton, Ontario, when I was 14. It was a big move for us. And so on the way, on the trip from Nipigon to Trenton, we stopped at a hotel for the night and went and saw The Rock that night. I remember just being blown away by it. But it was the first time I saw Nic Cage, like, kind of do an action movie that was like a blockbuster movie. He'd been in like Moonstruck before that, and like A Time to Kill, and Valley Girl, like all his like other stuff, but he hadn't really been like a star yet in my mind.
Yeah.
And so we saw that, and then it was like 6 months later we saw Con Air, and then like remember when he was, well, you know the movie, we'll talk about it in a second, but you're like, yeah, Nic Cage is Nic Cage, and then in Con Air he's just like jacked for some reason, like out of nowhere.
Yeah, very athletic.
Very athletic. He's doing those things in his cell where he's just like hovering. You're like, what is happening?
Very strong water pipes. The sprinkler system in that prison is wild.
Right. And then the next year we came out with Face Off, and you know, it just kind of, it was this neat little like, oh, I guess Nic Cage is the greatest actor in the world now. And then we all know what happened after that. But he's never been not entertaining. But no, Con Air is one of three movies, Mark. Three movies that I watch annually on a specific day.
Wow.
So on my birthday, I watched The Beastmaster as a present to myself because it's my hands down all-time favorite feel-good movie to watch, The Beastmaster. Mm-hmm. I love it. The first day of summer, I watched First Blood because I just, when I was a kid, there was, it was like 1988. I watched for First Blood and First Blood Part 2. My dad taped them for me off the movie station. We had like a preview weekend, and all summer I just played Rambo. And then like halfway through the summer, my neighbor, who's this old French lady, her name was Fern, and she brought over a toy she had found in her backyard, and it was the Coleco Rambo action figure. And I was like, this is the greatest. And so that all summer I was just Rambo. So summer is like my Rambo movie. And so I watched the first day of summer, I watched First Blood every year. And I also annually watch Con Air. And what day do you think I watch Con Air on, Mark?
Okay, so Con Air is when you start turning on your air con. So June 1st.
No, you're thinking too hard.
When?
I watched it on July 14th.
Whoa. So we got summer right.
We got summer right, but I'll see my daddy for the first time on July 14th. It's all in the movie. So that's the day he comes home, so that's the day I got to watch Con Air.
I failed.
It was right amazing. There the whole time for you, Mark.
You served me up, man. Oh my gosh. You were Patrick Swayze in Youngblood, and I was Rob Lowe, and I just missed that puck from your assist.
I made a Youngblood reference today. My buddy Steve got it. He's like, "Oh, Youngblood," and I was like, "Yes, we got one."
Now, knowing what you know about these burly individuals, are you going to say Con Air at 4 seconds or Con Air at 1 second?
I'm going to wait till 6 seconds.
Wait, what?
I'm going to play out the clock, Mark.
Oh, man. They'll like that.
Yeah, I think they're going to respect that a little bit. I'm not going to talk out of fear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to take a spoonful of my gelato.
Tiny spoonful.
Eat it. I'm going to savor it. I'm going to like slowly pull the spoon out, put it in my cup, wait till the 6 comes up, and I'll say, it's not even a question worth asking. It's clearly Con Air.
Well, you're brave.
I'm going to say, you don't think it's something else, do you? Like, I'm going to turn it back on them. Why would you even ask that question? Put them in the spot where they need to be like listening to me now.
And they're not used to that.
No, it's going to catch them off guard.
Wow. And while they just basically shrink into nothingness, you're gonna get another gelato, then leave.
No, what I'm going to do is stand up slowly, open up. I have a computer side bag with me. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to pull out a stuffed bunny and hand it to them and walk away.
Oh, I love it. So, and then they just explode like in Kingsman. Perfect.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Okay, sorry to do this to you. Con Air is the most watchable because, okay, I think Face Off is a beautiful. They let John Woo be John Woo, and that's why it has a 92% tomato meter score. That's why it is what it is. The
So
Rock
here's
is
why-
good. Oh, sorry, go for it.
So here's why Face Off is a near perfect action movie, like popcorn action movie. But here's why it loses points for me. Because I'm also a huge fan of Hard Target.
John Woo.
And if you watch Hard Target and Face Off, Woo uses like 80% of the same shots.
Oh, he does all that in Hard Boiled and The Killer too. He goes back.
Right.
He's like Del Toro. They have a list of things and they do it really, really, really well. Really, 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 really well.
Right. But like the end fight was like back to back against a wall, and there's pigeons flying everywhere, and there's like two guys. Like it's almost a shot for shot remake of the Hard Target final fight.
Mm-hmm. But without Arnold Vosloo, which makes everything better.
Right. The Hard Target was so good because of that line where he says, "Do you still have that rifle?" He's like, "No, a gator ate it." I'm like, that's such the perfect thing for Wilford Brimley to say.
Why'd they name you Chance? Because my mama took a chance.
My mama took one.
All right, so I think Con Air is the most watchable because The Rock. Okay, if someone said Mark pick the best of the three, I guess I'll put The Rock, right? Because of Ed Harris's very layered performance. I messed that one up. Now,
Yeah, no, Ed Harris is great. Sean Bean is great. Sean Connery is great.
What I don't like is the kerfuffle in San Francisco. Now, Accelerate, the movie that we've talked about, has an upward hill, which chase up the hills of San Francisco. Groundbreaking.
Right.
I just, like, they're murdering people. And Sean Connery's like, oh, sorry. Rest in peace, Sean Connery. I'm not going to do that. He's just trying to.
He stops the impersonation halfway through.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. He was a great actor. But the character written in that film, where he just starts racing down the hills and people get destroyed, and then they go to the Rock, what feels like an hour in. It's once they get into the Rock, I love it, but I just don't want that build up. Con Air, you're in the plane in 14 minutes, and then all movie, like all action, just up.
Exactly. So it to me has the Die Hard pacing.
Yes.
Where you hit the ground running and you're go, 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 go.
Just gets there. And you know what's interesting is I've been spending, so I did an episode about Face Off and I love The Rock. I wrote an article about The Rock for Cracked about some Bokeem Woodbine's acting, which is amazing. And then I watched this. These are three very layered performances by Nicolas Cage. So you have Stanley Goodweather, correct? Goodspeed.
Yep.
Yeah, where he's just the lab guy, right? And then he finds his toughness.
Exactly.
In Face Off, he's the good guy. He's the bad guy becoming the good guy. Becoming the good guy. He's the bad guy who becomes the good guy, but has to play the bad guy. In Con Air, this is something what I really like about Cameron Poe. When he comes back to see his wife after he's done with the Army Rangers, when he comes back to see Trisha, she's like, "Don't go back in your old ways." And he beats the tar out of those bar patrons.
A lot of palm strikes.
And in this movie, too, he's still fighting people. So, and he's arguing with the cops. Like, he's looking at him like, "I'm going to get that back from you." So he has an edge, but he's an extremely capable human being in this movie. There's really no baggage with him. I just want to get home to my kids. And it's a refreshing take on his character. There's very little baggage. You know he'll get home to his family.
You know what my favorite moment in this movie was? This is going to sound like a weird, sappy favorite moment. But when he's writing his letters back to his lady, and he's like, "There's no one to blame but myself. I got to do this." And he like owns it.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's not saying like, "I got screwed by the system. This is unfair." He's not like he's saying like, I made a mistake and I got to own it. And so I think that just goes to his character of like, yeah, he's taking responsibility for something that he's done. And you don't see that very, very much in 2020. It's always somebody else's fault.
And he does some solid acting, too. When Willie Sims gets shot, the look on his face. So I got to say, you know Meg. You love Meg. She's been on many episodes with us, many of our videos on Movies, Films, and Flicks Facebook. I put the movie on. Meg's upstairs, and she goes, "Are you watching Con Air?" She just knew from the song. It was the proudest moment of my life.
Well, I was gonna say when I was in the gelato shop, is How Could I by Trisha Yearwood playing in the background while this is